Alright, so we know what the remainders are. How are we going to use them in division problems? Magda has some leftover wallpaper. 73 inches long. She wants to cut it into 8 pieces to use around the photos in her scrapbook. Each piece will have an equal length. How long will each piece be? When you solve a division problem with the remainder, the way you interpret the remainder depends on the situation and the question. Okay, so it depends on what the word problem is asking us to do. Alright? One way is to write the remainder as a fraction. If you cannot see, you can sit in the middle. One way is to write the remainder as a fraction. Now I'm going to flip between the smartboard and this because otherwise it'll freeze up. Alright, so we have a total of how many inches long? What is our whole number?
73.
Okay, because when we deal with division and multiplication, we're dealing with part, whole, right? Part, whole. Okay, in a division problem, we're going to have a whole number and we're going to have a part. My whole number is 73 and my part is what?
8.
8. Good. Okay, so I'm going to have 73 divided by 8. Now, we learned in 4.1 that you can figure out where it's going to fall into by doing, where is it in between. So we can do that. Or if you know your multiplication tables, which you guys should all know your multiplications by now, you can look at 8 and see what 8 times what is closest to 72. Hey, 9. Okay, so you're jumping ahead of me. All I asked for was a number. Okay, so 8 times 9 is 72, right? And that's super close to 73. Can I get any closer to 73? No, because if I go 8 times 10, it's 80. If I drop down to 8 times 7, it's 56, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so 8 times 9 is 72. So I'm going to go 9 up here. Okay, and then how many of you guys have learned the mommy, daddy, sister, brother? Okay. So we have, in a division problem, we have mom, dad, sister, brother, Rover, right?
No, it's Rover. Sometimes it's Rover. It's Rover. Remainder.
Yeah. Okay, mom is multiply, right? Divide. Yeah, but it's daddy first, right? Dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and remainder.
I never knew that.
That's because it's a 4th grade thing.
No, I learned it first. Yeah, just last year. We learned it first.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to divide by 8, which is going to give me 9, and then my next step is mom, right? So I'm going to multiply. 8 times 9 is 72, and then I'm going to do what? Subtract. 3 minus 2 is, and then if there was something here, I could bring it down, but there's not, so then it's Rover, which is my remainder, right? All right, so it tells me on my page here. One way is to write the remainder as a fraction. So the divisor then is 8 pieces, right? What is my part? It's called a divisor. So if you're looking there, fill that in. The divisor is 8 pieces. That'll be this right here. So this would be 8 pieces. Okay, right there. And the blank is 73 inches long. That is a dividend. The divisor is on the outside of the house. The dividend is on the inside of the house. Divisor on the outside, dividend on the inside. Divisor on the
Outside.
dividend. What's on the outside? Divisor. What's on the inside? Dividend. Okay? You can think of on the inside it's end. On the inside is end. Okay? has the same sound. All right. You're going to divide the quotient and the remainder, which we did. The remainder represents 1 inch left over, which can also be divided into 8 equal parts or written as a fraction. So if Miss Fernley has our remainder here, right, I can write it as 1/8 as a fraction. So my answer then would be 9 1/8. That is one way to do it. Okay, as in math, there are multiple ways of doing things. Okay, so you would write it as 9 1/8 inches long there at the bottom. Okay, so your remainder over divisor is going to be 1/8. So right here, your remainder over your divisor is going to be 1/8. The quotient with the remainder written as a fraction is going to be 9 1/8. Remainder over divisor is 1/8. So it's the remainder over what's on the outside of the house, which is the 8. Okay, and then it's 9 1/8 is the answer. So each piece will be 9 1/8 inches long. Okay, here's another one. Daniel made 32 ounces of soup for 5 people. How many ounces will each person get? So my divisor is which number? Divisor is which number? 32. My divisor is 32. How many people agree with that? Oh, I disagree. Nadia, what's my divisor? Which number is my divisor in this problem? Up here. Nope. Abshay. 5. Good. My divisor is 5. My dividend is 32. Okay. So, how many ounces will each person get? So 5 can go into 32 almost how many times? It can't go in evenly, but it can go in pretty close. Carolina. 6 times. So I'm going to write my 6 up here. And what's my next step? Trinity. Multiply. 5 times 6 is what, everybody? Good. And then I'm going to do what? Subtract. Good. 2 minus 0 is? Can I bring anything down here? No, there's nothing there. So what is my remainder? Okay, now if I wanted to write that as a fraction, what would my fraction be? Aaliyah. 6/2? 2/6. Do you guys agree with that or disagree? Disagree. Good. Hayes, what is it? 2/5. The remainder on top, divisor on the bottom. 6 2/5. Okay. So that is one way of dealing with the remainder. With the remainder. If you have questions, ask. Please stop talking because Heather is asking questions. Okay, well 6 is my answer. 2 is my remainder. Okay, so what do I gotta do something with this 2. It can't just stay 2. Otherwise 6 plus 2 would be 8. So it's got to be part of something. That's why you make it a fraction. No. If I have, here's another one, guys. Here is 37 divided by 6. Quiet. First thing I'm going to do is divide. 6 can go into 36. What's the closest that 6 can go into 36? 6 times what? Jimmy. Yeah, we're on chapter 4. We started chapter 4 on Thursday when you were still here.
Miss Friend, you said it's 37.
I'm not dealing with it right this second. Ivan. 6 times 6, good. And 6 times 6 gives us what?
36.
Good, okay. So 7 minus 6 is? Okay, now I have to do something with this 1. What is it going to be then, Heather? So my answer is going to be 6 and 1 what? This one right here. It is always going to be this number over this number. Always. Remainder over divisor. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This is the answer. This is my quotient. This is my remainder. Okay. All right. The other way. Turn the page. 152. Okay, here's another word problem, and something you're going to come across a lot. Ben is a tour guide at a glass blowing studio. He can take no more than 7 people at a time on a tour. If 80 people want to see the glass blowing demonstration, how many groups of 7 people will Ben show around? So first we're going to divide the quotient and the remainder. Then decide how to use the quotient and the remainder. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got a total of 80 people. So I have a total of 80 people, right? Okay. He can only fit 7 in the tour bus at a time. So I'm going to divide 80 by 7, which is going to give me 11. Okay. But I'm going to have a remainder of something. So let's check it out. So I have 80 divided by 7. What is this called right here? This 7? Anybody? Everybody? Again. What is this one? Again. Okay. 7 can go into 8 how many times? 11. No. 7 can go into 8 how many times? 1. 1 time. Then I'm going to times it. 7 times 1 is? 7. Then I subtract my sister, right? 8 minus 7 is? Oh, here's brother. I can bring this down, make it a 0. 7 can go into 10 how many times? 1 time. 7 times 1 is? Okay, I'm going to subtract. 10 minus 7 is? 3. So I have 3 people left over. Now, can I have 3/7 of a person? No. I can't have 3/7 of a person. I can have 3/7 of a group of people, but not 3/7 of a person. So we're not going to use a fraction with this one. Okay, but it asks me how many groups of 7 will Ben show around. So how many whole groups of 7? What is my answer? Alexis. Remember, this is part of a group. Right here. I want to know how many whole groups of 7. Good, 11. Okay, so these are 11 whole groups. So my answer would be 11. This wouldn't even matter. Does everybody understand that? Yes. Okay, the 3 at this point doesn't matter, right? Because the question is asking me how many whole groups. And 11 is my whole group. 11 whole groups can go. Okay. If Ben gives tours to all 80 people, okay, now he's going to give the tour to all 80 people. How many tours will he give? A tour can hold no more than 7 people. To show all 80 people, then we'll have to give one more tour around. Okay. So, in order to fit these 3 people on here, let's fix this. In order to fit these 3 people onto a tour, he's going to have to add one more, right? So how many tours is he going to have to do then? 12, right? Okay, because I have 11 tours. I'm going to have to give one more to get these 3 people on there. So I'm going to have to give a total of 12 tours. Okay? Sorry, my dear. Now it asks us, Ben gives tours to all 80 people. After he completes the tours for groups of 7 people, how many people are in his last tour? How many people are in his last tour? Using the remainder. Okay? Alright.
It gives us the answer right there anyway.
I know, thank you. Alright, let's take a look at down there. The students are driven to soccer games in vans. Each van holds 9 students. How many vans are needed for 31 students? So my whole number then is what? How many students? 31. Is that my divisor or my dividend? Dividend. So it goes inside my house. What number is my divisor?
9.
Why? I understand, but why 9?
Because that's you're dividing
Heather.
9.
It is the smallest. That's not the answer I'm looking for. Naji? I know, but why 9? Robert? Because only 9 kids can fit in the van. Okay, so I need to know how many vans he's going to need. So I'm going to divide 31 by 9. What is the closest I can times 9 to get to 31? The closest I can times 9 to get to 31. Daniel? 9 times 3 is 27. If I go to 9 times 4, that's 36. Okay, so we're going to go 3. So I'm going to go 9 times 3 is 27, and then I got to subtract. 1 minus 7 is?
You can't do that.
Oh, I got to borrow. 11 minus 7 is?
4.
4. Okay, so how many whole van loads can I take?
3.
3 full vans, right? But then I'm going to have how many kids left over?
4.
4. Okay, so let's find out what it asks me. So if I asked you then, using these numbers, if I asked you, how many vans will we need to take all the kids?
3.
How many vans will we need to take all the kids? Brantley?
3.
You would need 3 vans to take all the kids? That is incorrect. Ivan? 4 vans, okay? Because I still have these 4 kids that are left behind on the field trip that are not very happy, right? So, like, on our next field trip, let's say we'll leave Brantley and 3 other people behind here at school. And he wouldn't like that very much, right? So we need to add a van on here. So we need to add a van to fit these 4 people in there. How many open seats do you think we would? How many open seats in this van would we have left over?
3. 4.
I want to see if you can catch that. Abhishek. Nope. How many open seats, Damien? 5, because why? Okay, each van holds 9. There's only 4 seats, or 4 seats taken by children, so there's 5 seats open. Heather, you have a question? Where do you get a 3? The fraction part doesn't apply to this one because I don't have half of a van, right? No, there'd be 3 vans that could carry some students. And then you're going to have a remainder of 4 students, right? No, I would not do out of 9 because I can't have it. I can't divide a van into 9 parts. The reason I can do fractions is if you have something that you can divide into 9 parts. Like if you had fabric. If you had a piece of fabric, could I divide that into 9 parts?
No.
Yes or no? Yes. Okay, if I had a chocolate bar, could I divide that into 9 parts? Okay, if I have students, if I have one Terry, can I divide Terry into 9 parts?
No.
Can I divide a van into 9 parts?
No. Yes.
I can divide a van into 9 parts, Alexis?
No.
Okay, then please don't just say yes for no reason. Because I'm trying to clarify something for Heather and you're confusing her. So, can I divide a van into 9 parts? It's yes or no? No. So would I use a fraction? For band? Or for student? Or for anything that I can't divide into 9 parts? Okay, you have to pay attention to what it's asking you. That's the only way that you're going to know whether or not to use fractions. Okay, so let's look at the share and show on page 153. Get out your whiteboards, please. Alright, so Ed carves 22 small wooden animals to sell at the craft fair. He displays it in rows with 4 animals in a row. How many animals will not be in equal rows? So I have 22 is my total, right? Divided by how many rows? 4. Or how many in a row? What does it say? 4. Okay, so we have 4 animals in a row. Okay, what times 4 gets us close to 22? What times 4 gets us close to 22? Daniel? 5. 5? Okay, 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, I'm going to subtract 2 minus 0 is 2. So how many will not be in equal rows? 2. How do you know?
Because
Malia?
Because that's a remainder, so the remainder is the last 2, so we can't make one more full row of.
Okay, so these are equal rows. This is left over. So these 2 would not be in equal rows. Okay, let's take a look at our homework real quick. We'll do a couple of our homework.
On the whiteboard?
What?
Before for this or what? If we have a whiteboard at home, do we still have to like show our work on this?
Yep. And another piece of paper.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. All right. So looking at our homework, we'll do number 3 together. All right. So number 3 says a sporting goods company can ship 6 footballs in each carton. How many cartons are needed to ship 75 footballs? So what is my divisor? What is my divisor here, Abba say? 8. Where are you getting 8 from? We're on number 3. 6 is my divisor. What is my dividend, Ivan? 75. Good. Okay. So remember, multiply, divide, subtract, bring down, remainder, rover. Okay, 6 can go into 7 how many times? 1 time. Good. 6 times 1 is? 6. Okay, 7 minus 6 is? 1. Bring down 5. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I keep doing that, huh?
I thought it was supposed to be.
Well, you can't multiply until you divide.
I know. I thought it on this one it would be 12 times 6 is 70.
I understand, but you always start from the furthest left number and divide. You don't just assume, because a lot of people don't know they're 12. Okay, so 6 can go into 15 how many times? Closest. Steven.
2.
2 times. 6 times 2 is? 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. Okay, so I have a remainder of 3. Now what it asked me is how many cartons are needed to ship 75 footballs. I have 12 cartons, okay? I have 12 cartons right now, but I have 3 all by themselves. So what is the answer to this question? What is the answer to this question? Can it be 12 and 3/6 carton? When you ship a package to somebody, can you cut it into 6 pieces?
No.
Okay, so what is my answer?
Less than 6 pieces.
Terry. I just explained that we can't use 3/6, right? Alexis?
12. 3/12.
Where do you get 3/12? It's always remainder over divisor. Nope. Thank you. Najee.
12 full and one half.
Okay, but I have how many whole cartons?
12.
Okay. I do have 12 whole cartons, but how many do I need to ship that many? Okay, I need to ship 13, right? Because I still need one whole carton to even just to ship the 3. So then my answer then is 13 cartons. Because I can't just leave 3. The problem says I have to ship all 75 footballs, but only 12 fit in each carton. Or 6, I'm sorry, 6 fit in each carton. So there's 12 full cartons, and then I'm going to have one that's half full. Okay, so my answer is 13. Alright, let's look at number 7. A teacher wants to give 3 markers to each of her 25 students. Markers come in packages of 8. How many packages of markers will the teacher need? Okay, so the 2-step problem. What's my first step? Elise. If I want to give 3 markers to each student, 3 to you, 3 to her, 3 to him, 3 to him, is that a division problem? Okay, so what do I need to do first? Abishai. Okay, so I'm going to do 25 times 3, and I know 3/4 is what? 75 cents. Good. So I have 75 total markers that I need to give out. They come in packages of 8. Now what do I do? Carolina, what do I do next? I'm not going to subtract. Are we working on subtraction in this chapter? What are we working on in this chapter? Okay, so we're probably going to have a division problem somewhere around here, right? Marisela, what am I going to do next?
Next, you're going to be doing
good. I'm going to go 75 divided by 8, right? Because there's 8. The markers come in packages of 8, so I need to know how many packages I need to get in order to get everybody markers. So 8 can closest to go into 75 by timesing it by what, Natalia? 9. And 8 times 9 is 72. 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, so how many cartons am I going to need then? How many boxes of markers am I going to need to make sure all the students get 3? Gianluca?
8 9.
Okay, somebody else? Trinity?
9.
I'm going to need 9 packages. Okay? Do you guys agree or disagree with that? Disagree. Dean? Oh, you agree with it? Okay, Malia?
We're going to need 10 actually, so all of them can go.
Okay, so if I was to get 9 packages, I would only have 72 markers. How many do I need?
75.
75. So when are you willing to give up your markers?
No. Yeah. I will. No.
Okay, the students aren't going to give up their markers. So I have to buy a whole nother package just so I can make sure to get 75. So I need 9 plus one other package, which gives me 10. Good. 10 packages. All right, go ahead and tear out your homework.
Well, that's number 7?
Yep.